Just a bit of a warning. Throughout this episode, you might hear me coughing a lot. I got sick recently, I'm getting over it, but sorry early on, I guess. There you go.
I've been a little sick too, so
Yeah.
I'm coughing a bit.
A deer may or may not come through my window and kill all of us.
This is the second or third time you've brought up a deer hitting an object. But
it's not. It wasn't recorded the first two times,
I'm just
so it's
saying,
weird to bring it up.
in this call in general.
Okay,
And they
fair
were
enough.
all wonderful. But I'm not complaining. I'm just bringing it up.
What do you like on your pizza, Zach?
Just plain cheese, personally. I tried pepperoni, but I don't like it. It's too spicy for me.
Spicy? Really?
I don't know what it is. Like something, I just don't like it.
My favorite pizza combination for a pizza is put some mushroom, sausage, and jalapenos on that shit, and I like it. Best. What about you, Stuart? What do you like on your pizza?
I'm more of a cheese guy, but one time I was at a friend's house and I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, they put a bunch of pepperonis in my mouth.
Could you, by the way, Stuart, just gonna say this really quickly, just speak up. Make sure you speak up.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, sorry.
Have any of you ever done? I have two more pizza-related questions. Just thinking, in spirits of that really great scene with my favorite Breaking Bad character,
This
Todd.
topic better come around in a circle, whatever the saying is in the end, right? It's just
Yeah. What do you guys ever have pineapple on pizza?
I've never
That's
tried
no.
it. I don't know.
No,
I finally tried it. Now, to be fair, I got it from it was a shitty freezer pizza. So maybe if I got it from a restaurant, it would be better. But I had it because I was genuinely curious about it, and I hated it. It was like the most disgusting thing I ever ate. But if I got it from a restaurant, maybe it would be better. I don't know.
Don't most people say that pineapple on pizza is really good?
It's a big debate. I think more people dislike it than I see people who do like it. Or, though, to be fair, I think a lot of the people who say they don't like it are people that just refuse to try it.
I mean, to be fair, the argument wouldn't be an argument if a lot of people didn't like it.
I'm sure.
So I'd say a lot of people like it.
I would say a lot of people like it too, but you don't have that same you don't have an argument with any other topping like this. Except maybe anchovies, but I think anchovies is mainly negative, while pineapple's
the only argument I ever hear about pizza is the pineapple argument.
Yeah, but anchovies, that's a thing that technically you can get on a pizza that most people won't get on a pizza.
What's your point?
But
y'all remember the commercial?
There is no point. I asked you a question and you dragged it out and continued asking questions
I thought
about
we were
it.
diving deep into this topic, idiot.
Y'all
What am I here for then? You're just gonna talk then? Okay. About pineapples and this argument and anchovies. Okay, I'm just gonna listen.
All
I'm
right,
gonna chime in.
Okay.
Y'all remember that episode? Not an episode, but you remember that commercial with Donald Trump where he just started eating pizza crust first?
No.
No, I don't. Is it
I'm
real?
glad you witnessed it.
It's like a Pizza Hut commercial, and it was with his previous wife, Ivana or something. And they were looking at each other's eyes like, "Do you really think we should be doing this? Can we be caught doing something like this?" "Oh, Donald, just blah blah blah." And they look in each other's eyes. "Donald, Ivana, all right, let's do this. Crust first." "Introducing a Pizza Hut of crust first, blah blah blah," or whatever.
Sounds great.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, so today we're going to talk about, we have a topic episode today. We're going to talk about something specific that all three of us watched. We will be talking about Nostalgia Critics The Wall video.
Oh, it was a masterpiece.
I didn't do my homework, so you're gonna have to tell me what happened in it, but I'm down.
Basically, the Nostalgia Critic reviews Pink Floyd's The Wall by reviewing it in song. And he just sings all the songs from the movie and willfully misinterprets every single one of them. And it's really good. I like this part where they take the infamous scene with the two hammers walking in the movie and they replace it with cell phones because we're all slaves to our cell phones.
I like the scene where Doug Walker in the end got a gun and killed himself.
I like that part too. It was really metaphorical.
That was really
how Doug feels about his life.
It's about everything. Remember that weird looking cat demon thing?
I feel bad for that animator.
Oh my god! Like I was skimming
It's
through
not-
that video, and I'm thinking, what the fuck is that?
It's really weird. It was really weird and not good to combine that shit with Nostalgia Critic. Like it, but I feel bad for the animator. I don't think they deserve to be wrapped up in that shit. They shouldn't have collabed with Doug Walker though. They should have known there was going to be some form of shit for doing there should have been some level of self awareness here that this wasn't going to go well.
Could you imagine like waking up one day and getting your health insurance being paid by the Nostalgia Critic?
I like to imagine your checks are not signed by Doug Walker, but the Nostalgia Critic.
It's not Doug Walker doesn't exist. It's just Nostalgia Critic. He actually acts like that in real life. Hey Doug, I need my check a little bit early. You know, my house is getting a blah blah blah, and Doug Walker just keeps screaming at you.
I would
Alright,
really
well,
love
I'm
it
screwing up.
if
My
Doug
internet
Walker-
just decided to fuck up. Hooray!
Oh,
You guys hear
Are
me?
you- I hear you.
Oh, lovely.
But can you hear us? That's the question.
Anyway. Hey, Mike, can you just raise your volume a
I
bit,
got
by the
you. My
way?
computer froze.
My volume?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
What the fuck?
Just want to be sure.
You might have to cut to like the technical difficulties.
No, it's fine.
picture.
It's just a quick thing.
Da, 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 da,
Listen.
da.
Listen. It's
Um.
fine.
Well, how do I even raise my volume?
I don't know, some
Well, yeah.
way. So anyway, we're actually talking about El Camino.
Yeah.
For those that
It was
saw the
Stuart.
title
It's
and
Stuart
didn't
back in the
think you were
call.
getting debated. It's
Stuart
true.
still in the... Stuart?
Hello.
Okay, are you good? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, for some reason, I guess I was telling a joke and then I choked. I choked really bad because of my horrible anxiety, and then like the computer
Oh.
froze. So what happened while I was gone in a wormhole?
We just got confused on what was happening with the call. That's all.
Okay.
I like the idea of Doug Walker doing a clipless El Camino review where the cast of Nostalgia Critic reenacts El Camino. I'd watch that.
That's probably gonna happen one day.
That'd be fucking funny. He's done fucking Breaking Bad skits. He might do it. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, we're gonna talk about El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. First thing is first. Does anyone want to just like right off the bat? Do we like it or do we dislike it? I like it.
No, I okay. It's okay. This is actually like it's gotta be a bit of a talk. I think like you can't just really say if you like or dislike it. It's not. I don't think
Yeah, I was
it's
just
as
saying,
simple.
Get a general idea of what people thought before we deep dive.
Because like
Dive-
I watched it 3 times. And my
I watched it 2 times too.
yeah, like from my first viewing to my second viewing, it changed. It was
Good.
and it was never a complete hate, by the way.
Uh-huh. My first viewing of it, I was like, I liked it, but I even messaged Stuart. I couldn't tell if I liked it because it was more Breaking Bad or if it was because it was like legitimately good. Because I was like kind of mixed on the pacing of the film,
Mhm.
like how frequently, for example, how much time we spend on Todd.
Yeah.
In the flashbacks.
Or just
and all
flashback
that.
stuff in general.
Yeah, and by the time we made it to, by the time I watched it a second time, I came to the conclusion that I don't think the movie like really needed to be made. Still, it's kind of
Oh
unnecessary.
my god.
But I still enjoyed it. It was just like bonus content, but good bonus content. Like it's very well shot. Visually, it's better than anything in Breaking Bad. Like because they've improved so much camera wise, shot wise, and yeah, there's a lot I like about it. I think at the end of the day, it's like I see the point in Better Call Saul. This just kind of seems like the point is they like Breaking Bad and they wanted to do something else with it. There wasn't really something that screamed it needed to be done.
So for me, like the closer it got to the premiere of it, like I was just kind of overhyping myself, I think, and like my first initial reaction from it it was a bit underwhelming, but I still really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
But I probably shouldn't have been as hyped as I was because I wasn't. I was just expecting a little too much. And
Oh,
then my second viewing, I appreciated the fact that this is what it is. It's just this epilogue of
mhm.
of the final episode of Breaking Bad, and it just kind of
Yeah.
wraps things up, and it doesn't bring you on this really big adventure. It's just like kind of one thing that just needs to get done. He needs to get the money to go to the guy that sends you off to your new life, and that's really it. And
And you get a little bit more context through the flashbacks.
and all that's just extra. This all is just extra, and yes, it did not need to be made technically, but that's not a bad thing because
I
I
agree.
still think what we got was still for Breaking Bad fans. Which, by the way, if you have never seen Breaking Bad, this movie, I don't know if it
Yeah.
could be that entertaining, but I don't know.
I think you will get nothing out of it if you're not a Breaking Bad fan.
I wouldn't say
think.
nothing. I mean, there's some entertaining value of it. There's some few little jokes I think you can laugh at. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
I
you
don't know.
need to know the characters personally. Like the
But
Skinny Pete and Badger stuff, I don't think is funny without knowing Pete and Badger.
But anyway, like I don't know. I still really enjoyed it. There was one thing I remember not liking, and I think I even have like an answer against what I think as well. So I'm kind of speaking from two perspectives here. So my initial dislike of one thing in the movie in the third act when the guy tries to do the Wild West thing with Jesse.
Yeah,
And
yep,
it's just
that's
kind
my
of.
problem too.
However, I did realize during my second viewing, like, oh wait, they were doing cocaine right before. Now I've never done cocaine, so I don't know if that causes you to act like an idiot. But it was still pretty stupid to risk your life like that and to then die
Yeah.
as ridiculously.
I
So-
did a
Yeah.
I did a quick review on it, and I essentially like came to the conclusion. I don't know if this is true, and I just said I feel like they did that because there wasn't anything like really action packed or excited in the movie.
Nothing for the
so they
final
just-
act to be big, and yeah.
Yeah, so I felt like that character was not built up to do something like that. Like Tuco was a drug addict who did crazy shit, but you got built
This
up.
guy
before.
looked too sane compared to Tuco to do something like
That-
this.
that-
And
that's
also
what
like
I'm
that
saying.
one clip of like him going up to the guy right in his face and just kind
That
of
was
looking
awkward.
like he's gonna make out with him at one point. Like it was
It was
just
awkward.
it's out
It
of
was.
character a bit. I don't know.
It was weird. What?
Not that
Anyways,
intimidating.
Stuart, what did
Like,
you
and
think?
the other guy's like smirking the whole time, like you gonna kiss me or what?
Well, I only watched it once.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was last week during it, which we originally were gonna record, and I was like, oh, let me watch it Thursday, and then that got delayed.
Sorry.
But it's all good. I actually really enjoyed it from my first watch. I do admit that like I didn't know who that guy was during the Western standoff thing, because when Jesse he looks at him and he's like, oh, I was wondering when you were gonna recognize me. I thought like, okay, who is this guy? And it wasn't
Yeah.
until like the
I was
next
kind
day.
of expecting a flashback at some point because I know I didn't
Yeah.
recognize him from the show at all.
Yeah, and even during the flashback, it showed just some other guy with long hair just building the contraption for Jesse, and I'm still thinking, all right, who is this dope? And it's actually just him, but like he just shaved and got a haircut, and I'm thinking, oh, okay.
You gotta think
Yeah,
too,
it's
like
not a
that
character
time frame,
show.
like I think it was like a year or something, about a year from the time that we see him with the long hair to the time we see him in El Camino.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
just a year he decides to do all that, to shave it off.
Mhm.
Yeah. Walter Jr. did not make an appearance. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
What you guys did you guys
needs
hear
to.
also about the guy who gives Walt and Jesse a new life at the end of their
Yeah, he
respective
passed
thing?
away the day
Yeah.
the movie came out.
That's
It's
so
very-
sad.
yeah,
Robert
it's sad.
Redford. He was also in
We talked-
Jackie Brown.
Yeah, we talked about him. We talked about him.
I like that guy.
Rest
I
in
think
peace.
he was really good in the Breaking Bad movie. I think I criticized not the actor but the character in Jackie Brown, but I do really like his Breaking Bad character. What were you saying, Stuart? Sorry.
I just said like rest in peace, and I really liked him. Yeah, in this character, he was just a regular old guy that
He's the kind of
Sold
actor
vacuum
that you
cleaners.
take a look at one of his performances and you're like, Personally, I'd want to see more roles from him. Like, I want to kind of, if I ever find more stuff that he's been in, I want to see what his other work. He looks like a veteran actor who I'm surprised you don't really hear about often.
Tarantino kind of revived his career with Jackie Brown, from what I heard about him. Yeah, like there was a lot of talk about him after he passed, and yeah. Okay, so let's think of like specific things. Like, out of all the characters who made comebacks, what was your favorite? Because you got Mike at the beginning, you got Walter White at the end.
Mike's was all right. The scene when there's a shot when him and Jesse in the beginning are just kind of looking off into the lake, and it's like this side shot. It just, how it looked color wise and framing and everything, I don't know, just reminded me of like a shot from Stupid Mario World. I don't know, it didn't look like I was watching a Breaking Bad movie. It looked like I was watching a YouTube video from Rich Alvarez. Like, just that one shot, it just looked off to me. It looked cheap. I don't know. I can't explain it. You have to look at the shot, and you might see what I mean. I just got that initially. Like,
fucking lightsabers just start coming out of Jesse's hands. Fucking like horrible as stock footage of energy ball from Mike.
Rips off the mask and is like, "Hello, Mario."
You just hear fucking Jesse. You just hear the dun, dun from Mario 64 or something.
The Mario fireball sound effect.
Oh my god! The fucking darkness comes out of nowhere because of course he comes back. Oh.
Oh my god!
El Camino, episode 2.
I don't know what you're talking about with like that opening scene. I'd have to look at it.
There's just one shot, like that side shot of them.
All I can think of is like the really cool shots. Like there's like one aerial shot that looked beautiful. There was the one shot where you have like the river, where they just kind of like have it on like the cameras like on the river's level, and like I don't know, the way they shot the water was really cool. Like it was I thought that opening scene was done very well. I think my favorite honestly is the Walter White scene. I know that's like just like the way they made him walk.
A lot of people complained about the bald cap. It was obvious. I didn't really notice that my first time around. When you read comments about it, then you notice it, which kind of stinks, because like if I
noticed it, but I didn't care.
It wasn't that bad though. No. I mean,
it wasn't that bad. It's just
people are saying it was so obvious. It's like, it's all right still.
Oh my god, you could totally tell that this movie's fake. Like, what the fuck?
Like, a lot of people also complained, which it is what it is. It's that sort of situation that it is what it is. But the Todd, the actor who's now, a bit chubbier. But, like, who cares, Like, some people really got distracted.
I like it. I think it's a fair critique that Vince Gilligan does not give a shit about aging in any of his projects. Like, cut to a flashback in Better Call Saul with Bob Odenkirk, like, acting like he's in his 20s when he's in his 60s. Like, it's hilarious.
How do you do my
He does that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair critique. I mean, obviously, if Todd... I'm glad that Todd was still in the movie, because he fit, like... the movie made me hate Todd even more, but he served...
Oh my god, yeah.
He served a really good role in the movie. Like,
I love the idea, by the way, of having just a flashback event in the film of, like, Jesse's day with Todd. Just a day with Todd. And seeing how that goes. Like, okay, we're going to go out, it's a happy time, and then transitions to, like, covering up a dead body. Like, of course that's a Todd day, Yeah. Such a great idea.
There's a lot of really good stuff there with, like, with the connection to the title of the film, El Camino, because now it's not just Jesse like driving the El Camino to Skinny Pete's house. Now you have the connection with Todd driving it in the past, but you also have like the fact that now you understand why Jesse picked that car when he escaped, because it's just he's familiar with the car. Todd has the gun in there, so he knows if he goes in that car, he's getting a gun too. Yeah. He's using that same gun that he like almost pulled on Todd, like. Almost
connected,
yeah, like it's smart. And apparently El Camino, there's like some meaning to that as well. I forget, but it's like just basically.
And I like how now you could watch the final episode of Breaking Bad, see Jesse get into that car, and just have all these memories of like, okay, here's why he's going into that car now. Just like it just adds more to it. One little thing, just him getting into a car. It's great.
You were about to say something, Stuart.
Isn't Camino car?
What does El Camino mean, though?
I forget exactly what it is, but there is like a meaning behind that's relevant to like what Jesse's doing. Like he's escaped and he's becoming free. I forget exactly what it is. Someone explained it to me. I really love the Walter White scene because I rewatched that episode where they cook in the desert for 4 days, because that scene takes place like right after they got the battery. They built the battery for the RV and got out. And watching that episode, there's a lot of connections to that scene. And what I think is one of the most interesting, one of the best details of that scene is when Walter says, you know, you're really lucky you didn't have to wait your whole life to do something special. It's like basically a less fucked up way of what he does in the series finale when he gives the "I did it for me" speech. It is the only other point in like the entire series history, aside from that one scene, where Walter is honest about anything. You know, he's honest about what he feels about what he's doing. You know, he sees it as this great accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it's the only other time you've ever seen him be honest about it. And what's so great about it is this was like, remember the day, like that episode where he goes in the desert for 4 days to cook? It's the episode opens of him getting the x-ray. He notices something on the x-ray and he thinks, ah, shit, I'm about to die. And then at the end of the episode, you learn that his like tumor like decreased by like 80%. But up to that point, he thinks he's going to die. So it's the 2 times in the show that he's willing to accept that he is about to die, that he is honest about it. And I just think that's like that's just a really good attention to detail. There's also conversations that they have at the diner that connects to what they were talking about in that episode, like the electrolytes, for example, is brought up in the RV episode where they're cooking in the desert for 4 days, and then in the movie scene, just a lot of good stuff.
Less deep, but I really like that Walt not believing Jesse got a high school diploma bit. Like, I love that.
I love that.
I laughed so much.
It's like a classic Walt.
He's like insulting him without even knowing it. Like, it's such a great, like, it's the nostalgia, you know, like
high school dick.
Oh yeah. Well,
I love how they really captured their dynamic after all these years.
They
like,
did
just so casually.
The early seasons too, because in the later seasons their dynamic is completely different. So like they got it.
It was like the perfect time to like have a flashback for Walt in this film. And
by like season 3, Jesse's like fucking dead inside. So like that's like you don't get interactions like you do. Like I love the later seasons, but the only downfall of the later seasons is like the interactions between Jesse and Walter aren't nearly as funny. They get like really serious.
Yeah.
So that was so great to see. Sorry, Stuart, you keep trying to say something.
Oh no, I just keep saying yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been really quiet because I'm like, I know if I talk over, it's like,
We'll try to get. You got to fight to get your words in. Sometimes we're all talking about a lot of stuff.
Gotta punch your way out of an argument.
What's a scene that you really liked, Stuart?
This is gonna be weird. I really like the part after, what was it, when you were with Todd, when he's talking about the soup.
What part is that?
Where it was
Oh.
It's basically like you're just with the day with Todd and you're just talking with him and it's like, hey, you know, the clouds, man, you know, might be raining. And just the whole time you're just, I guess Todd's expecting like an actual conversation, but Jesse's he's just in a situation where he's just in shock.
My second and third viewing watching the film, like that when that scene happened, I was just like watching and knowing what happens after and being like, oh my god, this is like, it starts off, the day with Todd starts off so simple, like, oh, this weather, he's like trying to make it so nice and casual, trying to get Jesse to be friendly, even though it doesn't work, of course. Jesse's always on the defensive, but like just in his mind, just like trying to like start the day all nice and calm, and just how it escalates in the end is just crazy. How it just starts off like that, just a conversation about the weather.
What I love about it so much too is you see this flashback of him down there, but you don't actually know what the exact time frame on that is yet, because a lot of horrible shit happens while he's down there. So then when he comes up and then Todd says, you know, if you try to escape, we're going to have to go after the kid. So you know at that point, this is after he put a bullet through Andrea's head. That's like, that makes this so much worse. Like he's already holding Jesse hostage after he murdered the one girl. So it's like, it makes it so much more uncomfortable and so much worse.
This guy is like a serious psychopath because he doesn't even care that he just killed the fucking cleaning lady. He's just like, yeah, I did it. She found my money, and I just had to do it.
And
Hey, want some soup?
You'd
Want
have
some
to be a
soup,
real
Jesse?
You'd have to be a real psychopath too to like drive in your car with that specific song playing with this hostage in your car and not care.
You guys remember the what the fuck was it? The tarantula in his house? It's essentially it was the same tarantula from that one kid that he shot and killed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He just kept it as a trophy.
Yeah, no, I know. I fucking picked up on it so much.
That.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. He is such a fucking lunatic.
Kept it as a trophy.
He's even like saying, "Yeah, don't make me feel worse about it than I already do." And she was a great woman. And then like when they bury her, he's like, "Do you want to say a few words?" And then Jesse just gives him this look.
No.
He's like, "No."
She was a great cleaning lady.
It's so bad.
She cleaned very well.
Yeah, she cleaned very well.
The two scenes that I got the biggest laugh from is one was the one of them was, I think the biggest laugh I got was Jesse saying, "I totally graduated high school, you dick." I did like that a lot. And I think the second biggest laugh I got, and this one I feel so guilty to admit because it's not funny, it's fucked up. It's what I referenced at the beginning of this episode when Jesse has the gun on Todd and he says, I was going to get some pizza after this because you earned it. What do you like on your pizza, Jesse? I was just like, oh my god. And it works because Todd doesn't die there.
Yeah. I found that very sad every time I watched it. But
it's very sad, but just Todd makes me laugh with like he's such a psychopath.
Couple of large pies, maybe a six of a beer. What do you say, Jesse?
I want to see Doug Walker recreate that scene.
Oh my fucking god! It's Linkara. He's just like he just has a gun and he just asks him, "Hey, when's the next Power Rangers retrospective?" He'll be out when it's out.
It's actually not a hard joke to make. They go on hiatuses so much.
Oh man. Oh.
But yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of like just the next scene. I think it was weird that Kristen Ritter was the third person mentioned in the credits, even though she appeared in 10 seconds of the movie.
I didn't notice the credits, but
yeah, her name appears third, and I'm like, why?
Who cares?
She was in 10 seconds of it. Maybe it was because she was one of the only female characters in the movie.
Jeez. I just paid more attention to the ending song, the Static on the Radio.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. Like I bought it on my iTunes.
Oh really? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good close on. I really like I really did like the music in this movie too, like just the score of it. I thought it all sounded good. There's a couple of like I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to talk about the ending. I mean, we're kind of jumping back and forth. Should we talk about something? Should we talk about the ending?
There's one thing we didn't talk about. I mean, what was your reaction? I really liked the reaction. My eyebrows, went up, but like the scene when he finds out that the two police officers are not really police officers.
I did have something to say about that. The first time I watched it, I did like rise. What I realized it the first time is when they pulled out the wire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Cops. The second time I watched it, I realized there's a hint at it way before that. Because when the one cop is calling for his friend, he says, "Hey, Lieutenant, can you get in here?"
Yeah.
And him saying the word Lieutenant immediately sets him off. He's like, "What the fuck? Why is he calling me Lieutenant?"
That first watch, you are curious when he says that. Like you're wondering why that is, and yeah, for sure.
I know nothing about.
There's a few other things like that too beforehand, or even after.
I know nothing about cops. So I'm just thinking the whole time, oh, these are cops, and Jesse's just he's just there. There it is, end of the road. Oh, these aren't cops. There's no handcuffs. Oh, I hate these guys now because what was it? The redhead guy? He seemed like a believable, like likable guy. Like, all right, let's work together or whatever. And after that, he's like, yeehaw! Oh shit! We gotta sell some. And he's just like, all right, let's go find the money. And then I immediately hated him.
I was gonna say I do really like the idea of them doing the scene like that transitioning to that. Because if they were just cops, then he'd have to get out of it, the situation, and your initial reaction from it the first time viewing, it was just kind of like, okay, we'll see where this goes. But I am glad they switched it around to they're criminals. That was nice little touch.
Thugs.
You know what I think is kind of interesting about that scene?
What?
I don't want to say it's a better. I don't know if it's something to do with Better Call Saul. Fuck. I can't say it. Stuart, you haven't seen it. Okay, I'll tell you about it later, Zach. There's a interesting thing in those. What I will say that's kind. I think that this is true. I think Mike now is the only character to appear in every single like series, every single project. He was in
I was
Saw.
really hoping to see Saul Goodman.
Maybe like I don't know. Maybe like Gene will make. Maybe Gene and Jesse will cross paths one day. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I think it'd be really weird and like too much of a coincidence. But at the same time, part of me is like, it's too unrealistic. Don't do it. And another part
Jesse's got to stay in Alaska, and how Saul ends, he's got to stay in wherever state he's in. So I don't really think they could ever cross or know anyone that they know.
Wasn't he in Nebraska?
Right? Are you talking about Saul?
Saul.
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
I think it's Nebraska. I actually forget, too.
I feel like Mike is like the Yoda of Breaking Bad.
The Yoda?
Yeah, like Mike he appears in all of them.
Yeah. Well, Mike is just like the fucking character. Even though he does do a lot of illegal shit, and like he's definitely no angel. I think he's like everyone's like, even if he's not everyone's favorite main character, most people would consider him to be like the most likable person on the show.
There were so many times when I was watching again Better Call Saul seasons 2 and 3, like there were so many moments that he was doing stuff for his granddaughter and with his granddaughter that was just going on like so many times. So yeah. I'd say he's definitely like more of an angel than a criminal. I don't know, maybe that's...
He has that really good speech in season 1 of Better Call Saul talking about how he's met honorable thieves and bad cops.
There's even like a part in Better Call Saul when like before he joins Gus, like he's mad that Hector killed some civilian or something when he didn't have to. Like just some guy.
We might be saying a little too much right now.
Oh, you think like out of spite, Mike just? You feel like out of spite, Mike just decided to just draw a bunch of inflation porn of Gus on DeviantArt or something?
Okay. Mike Ehrmantraut, I don't know. Like I don't know if I'd say he's my favorite character, but I could definitely accept him as a favorite character. Like if someone told me Mike Ehrmantraut's my favorite, I would say yeah, it's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. I think two separate polls should be done with him, like favorite character out of the Breaking Bad cast and favorite character out of the Better Call Saul cast. Because like with Better Call Saul, like there are a lot of moments that like
my favorite character,
they're cool but not as cool as Breaking Bad, and like it's just kind of boring sometimes compared to like the stuff that Saul's going through. I don't know.
My favorite part of the two shows combined is Hank, because I like the Mineral Saga.
The Mineral Saga.
I'm rewatching the show, like I said to you, I'm rewatching it again, and like I made it to the fucking part where Hank's collecting minerals, and I still fucking hate that part. It's just so boring. It's so fucking boring. I try to like it every single time. I understand what they're going for.
I remember the episode in Breaking Bad with Hank when he was looking for minerals. And then he just decides to take off his shoes and just pour maple syrup all over his feet.
What?
He's just making shit up.
That was a classic episode.
It was a classic episode. What are some other DeviantArt like weird fetish shit we can throw into this? I like the memes that came out of the mineral thing. There's one where like there was one meme where there's all these like really shitty Breaking Bad comics online where all like the characters were drawn once and they would just reuse the same drawing.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think so.
And there was one where like it was Hank's funeral. Marie was one of the running jokes was whenever Marie would say the word rock, even if it wasn't in the context of calling Hank's minerals rocks, Hank would like get angry and say, "Jesus Christ, Marie, they're minerals." And then there was one where it was like Hank's funeral, and like you just see him lying in the grave in the coffin, And then Marie says, Hank really rocked my world. Then Hank gets up out of the coffin angry.
So stupid.
If I can find that one, I'll send it to you to put on screen, Zachary, so write that down. Oh. Oh, man. The ending scene is really... I understand why they would not show this on screen. I really am curious to know what the letter to Brock said. I looked on Reddit and saw if anyone transcribed the very little you can make out of it. Couldn't find anything like that because I'm just so curious because they said the movie was originally going to end with a voiceover reading out what the letter to Brock was. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck does he even say in that kind of letter?
There's some people that saw half of what the letter saw, but it's nice.
I remember reading some stuff about that, and essentially people described it as the guerrilla warfare meme.
Huh. I don't know what the guerrilla warfare meme is.
What the fuck did you just fucking say?
That's the Navy SEAL copy pasta. That's what I know it for.
Yeah, it's guerrilla warfare.
Okay, sure. What the fuck? Jesse said that to Brock.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you just say about me, you little shit? How can you go on that? It's like trying to memorize pi. How much of the Navy SEAL copy pasta can you remember?
I don't remember much of it. It's just the first sentence.
Yeah. I can go up to, I'll have you know that I was something first class of Navy SEALs something.
I was top of my first class of the Navy SEAls. I have over 300 confirmed sniper kills. Trained in guerrilla warfare.
Oh, I love that.
Brock opens it up and he's like, well, what's this? What the fuck did you just fucking say about me?
And it freaks him out. Thing that's ever happened to him.
My mom is dead and I got a fucking threat in the mail. What do you guys think of that ending? We get Jane makes an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
We get I really like the last shot.
Yeah.
It's kind of something you see up his face. He kind of has a smile on his face.
It's such a swap from the final frame we get from him from Breaking Bad, where he's just looks
freaking
like he's in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of bittersweet that last shot though, because he smiles, but if you look at it, and this might be one of those things that I'm just really overlooking. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I feel you see the smile and then it goes away though. It's just kind of
what could be the meaning behind that?
Well, I just think it's bittersweet. That's it. I just think that it's yeah, he's free, but
although wait, I do remember something in the very beginning of the film when him and Mike are talking. Mike tells him that Jesse wants to say we can move to Alaska and we can live life and forget about all the things we've done. And it's Mike's no.
He said
something like that, And Mike's just yeah, that's the one thing you can't do. So it's saying you have to live with what you can. You can live life, but you gotta live with all the sins you've done. So maybe that could be it.
He made sure to fuck over
that's what I see it
one
as.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Who else made it?
Happy, but at a cost.
His parents, Jesse's parents.
His parents made
Actually, that's a lot with Walter White. Happy, but at a cost.
Mm.
That
what was that?
Mayor Stuart.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
His ending is like Walter White's, is what I'm saying. Happy, but at a cost.
Yeah, but Walter's is very different. Walter dies satisfied.
Mm.
He enjoyed the last year of his life. Maybe he liked being Heisenberg. It's every single time I watch the show, it changes. It's the first time I watched it, I genuinely believed he didn't really enjoy being Heisenberg up until the last season. Season 1 and 2, it's actually for his family. 3 and 4, he's fearful for his life, and the last one he enjoys it. I think he enjoys it the moment he gets Tuco on his side in the first season. I think that's when he started to enjoy it. I think that very early on he was into it, but he was like legitimately freaked out when his life was at risk. But I think that he very much enjoyed being a criminal from the very start.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, spoiler alerts, Walter's finally confirmed dead after 1,000 years of people saying, wait a second, we didn't see Walter actually defecate himself, because when you die, you're supposed to...
Yeah, I thought that was stupid, that people like had to write articles saying, Walter White confirmed dead. Like, yeah, of course he did.
I'm glad this movie just at least finally shut them up, like, for good.
Yeah,
thank God.
Yeah.
Fucking game
like,
theory did a video on it.
Oh, fuck.
No reason to like complain about the complainers even like out with this movie out.
Fucking
says definitely just show the film.
Scientifically proven that Walter White lived.
No. He's a loser.
He proved it.
He thinks Sans is Ness.
Fucking Vince Gilligan is wrong. Walter White lived.
You were wrong. You didn't land on the moon.
That's a fuck up, Vince. Oh, so funny. So funny. Yeah.
So now we need a film, Breaking Bad film of Ernie from Better Call Saul.
I was gonna say, give him a spinoff. I was gonna say, it's like about him going from working in the mailroom to being like the baddest hip hop artist out there. There's a character on Better Call Saul named Ernie who's just like this
he's
nerd
the dorkiest African American you'll ever see.
I'm just imagining Ernie from Sesame Street instead.
That's nice.
With his rubber ducky.
Okay, if you have to do a Breaking Bad show, all three of us, we have to do our own pitch for like the next Breaking Bad show.
I can't do that. Hank tries to get more minerals, right? Like
you can if you want. Just you got to add a little bit more to it, like expand upon the idea. What would the name of the show be too?
I'm just using that as a meme. Maybe, what's his wife's name again?
Marie. The World According to Marie.
Yeah, something about purple. You know.
She could just be like shoplifting.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's your show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would do, honestly, if I had to, I would do like just a fucking a sitcom about all the like just like one Los Polos Hermanos. It's like a sitcom. They all like all the friends that work there, and just occasionally Gus Fring is doing something incredibly fucked up
in the background.
but he's like still a main character on the show. Then he just comes in with the same jolly.
Through the window in the back of the thing, you just see someone get shot and dragged away with the blood smear. And by the time the person like turns his back to the window, the blood's already cleaned up.
One of the seasons.
Gus is like, "Oh, hello. Oh, sir, you got some ketchup on your shirt. Oh, don't mind that."
One of the seasons ends with like an employee like making a joke at Gus's expense or something. Gus laughs, and then the next season that character doesn't show up again.
However, El Camino confirmed that Los Pollos Hermanos is out.
I love that. That was a great detail.
Yeah. Not too long after the show ended, too. Like, this is supposed to take place like a day or two after the show ended. It's already changed.
Yeah, what's funny about it, though, keep in mind a whole year's passed since spring stuff at that point. But what's funny about that, too, is the restaurant Twisters. That's the real restaurant that...
Yeah, I know that, too.
Yeah, that's a good
really
detail.
Cool.
Nice.
So now that restaurant is canon in the fucking...
It's so cool.
In the fucking Breaking Bad world.
Nice. For my series, I would only have like 2 episodes, and it would be about Walter White Jr. So basically, what would happen is that he's just eating cereal one day, and then he decides to get up. He takes off his crutches, walks on his 2 feet. He goes to a mall, but instead he has like one of those black jackets on. And he has like spiked up hair, and he starts shooting everybody in the mall.
Wait, this escalated.
So then the episode ends, and then the final episode is just him staring at the screen with bloodshot eyes, screaming "Ah!" for like 5 minutes.
He's through with the world.
God, I should have known that you were gonna take it there.
Oh yeah.
I would like.
Why does he have to become a mall shooter?
I don't know.
Why do you have to get that dark?
Too much.
I wrote a script for school once. I may have told this story before. We had an assignment in a script writing class where we had to take an episode of a show that we liked and basically do a fan fiction version of it. And I wrote the most unpolitically correct thing that I possibly could, and I got a good grade on it. He had a sense of humor about it. I wrote the episode of Breaking Bad where Hank realized that Walter was the one. Walter was Heisenberg, but I wrote it in a way where Hank misinterpreted it and thought Walter Jr. did it.
Against him.
And then I wrote in that. I wrote in the scene where Walter punched Walter. And I wrote it. There's a scene where Hank beats the shit out of Walter.
He grabs
Walt's reaction to it all. It's like he doesn't know whether he wants to help Walt Jr. be like, alright, at least it's not after me or something.
He grabs his fucking helping hand things and just fucking beats the shit out of it with him.
Grabs his head and just like bashes it up against the wall.
Oh, just like
or he like kicks down his crutches off of his arms.
Oh my god.
Uncle Hank, what are you doing?
Shoves the crutches up his ass.
That could have gone so poorly for me. That could have been like received really poorly. I wrote a script where a handicapped guy gets the shit beat out of him.
That's wonderful.
It was really mean spirited.
Takes one of the minerals, just like.
Oh my god. Drives a car into his house.
Brian.
That's such a funny alternate timeline, though. That's so good. that completely segues the whole ending of the show.
Man.
Oh,
I remember, I think me and Cody were the ones where we were like writing up like a. We never were gonna like intended on making it. We kept writing stuff about Breaking Bad as like a joke though, and one of them is we did an alternate ending where it would just ended like in a very sappy, overly happy way on like the actual show. Like Walter and Jesse were best friends. Jesse and Jane got married. Walter got cured of his cancer.
I think
and lived
you told me this years ago.
And like, yeah, and all of this stuff happens, and then it still ends up Hank getting shot in the head. But everyone else is good.
Even his fucking partner.
Like, Tuco got fucking help. Like,
Gus makes a full recovery from his explosion.
Yeah, Gus makes a full recovery. Him and Hector become best friends.
Oh my god.
Fucking,
he learned the error of his ways.
But Hank still gets shot by Todd's uncle.
Oh,
Mike stops being a guy for hire and starts spending more time with his granddaughter.
oh.
Yeah.
And Walt Jr. gets cured. I don't know if you said that already, but he gets cured.
Walt Jr. has like a fucking 8-pack and has like 10 billion bitches.
But he still has the voice.
Oh my. Hey, bitch.
Sup, little ladies?
Sup, milady? Oh my god.
Oh man. So do we want to? I don't like. I still want to do the closing segment. Do we want to give any final thoughts on El Camino? Is there anything that you guys didn't have a chance to talk about that you wanted to?
I know I was really giddy when I saw Walter for the first time in the cameo.
I remember when he walked around the corner, I like rewinded a few seconds just so I could react to it again because it caught me off guard. I was like, okay, I didn't expect Walt at that moment.
Yeah,
really great.
I thought he was just calling up some girl or something. I was like, oh shit, it's Walter.
They were smart because they gave him an outfit that, like, the outfit he was wearing in that scene was similar to what he was wearing throughout the movie. So it's like you don't think that this is like a flashback or anything.
I thought it was a flashback. I thought maybe Kristen Ritter would walk out or someone else, or maybe I don't know. But yeah, no, Walt was fantastic to see. I'm surprised how they kept that all secret, like the maid in the hallway and everyone else in that diner, like not thinking, oh, this is Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad's such a popular show too.
Yeah, they had to have had like some sort of contract, like saying like, hey, listen, if you tell anyone about this, like,
we'll kill you.
Tuco, he's real.
Oh yeah.
They'll beat up your dad.
Todd being who would you be like the most afraid to be in a room with? Tuco, Todd, or Gus?
Honestly,
that's a
Todd, because you don't know what he's going to be doing.
I think I would go with like Tuco would be the worst. Gus would actually be the best because I mean you just act like you don't know what he's up to.
Maybe you can manipulate him enough to like you'd have to join him at some point, but at least you won't die, right? Just keep saying yes, do what he says, and you'll
just
be fine.
behave with Gus.
Tuco, he has no patience. Todd is very unexpected.
Todd is unexpected. I remember like seeing so many comments because Stuart, you saw a few episodes of Better Call Saul, right?
Yeah, I saw the first 3.
You saw Tuco on Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was okay. That was him. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone left a comment on that video when I watched it on YouTube, like the very next day. I still remember the fucking comment. Someone said if that was 2008 Tuco, he wrote out how the scene would have gone, and it felt like it felt very legitimate. It was like, yeah, like Jimmy is very lucky. He got to Tuco before like it got worse because you cannot reason with Tuco that well. By the Breaking Bad timeline.
Oh yeah.
He's a lot worse. Like he literally interprets nothing, like so much out of nothing. Yeah, I definitely got excited when I saw Walter. Though it is just I was kind of questioning if they would or wouldn't. I kind of figured they would, but I was just like, oh, maybe they won't. Maybe they want to hold back, and maybe they feel like that'd be fan servicey. I don't know. But no, it was. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! And
I think at the end,
one bitch in the whole movie. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. She puts the one tomato on the plate.
One fucking tomato.
I thought that was a very weird dish. That's actually another really good attention to detail, though. Like Jesse's plate. I just remember thinking it was weird, like who puts lettuce, cantaloupe, and pineapple on a plate. Like the lettuce being the weird part, but I don't know. I've just never seen that combination. But I was also thinking interesting because this was after Jesse just spent 4 days in the desert eating nothing but Funyuns, so got to get something nutritious in there.
Yeah, like he'll take anything.
Yeah. I really liked I really liked it, honestly. I think it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Like it's good by all means, but it wasn't really.
That's a good score.
Yeah, I see that's fair.
It wasn't really something that needed to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my professional commentary. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like it's obviously been a lot of years since I've last seen the series. And
yeah.
Part of it did come back to me like, oh, I remember this, and some other stuff was like, oh, I don't remember this at all. But yeah, it's like
there is that recap right before.
There is the recap.
Generously
last time on Breaking Bad. Yeah, but it was rewarding in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how the actual final scene was just Jesse, like, you know, when he's driving out, you don't hear anything. Like they just took the audio and they just muted it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really nice.
It was actually. I really liked that too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other cameos we're forgetting? Like I know that there was like the one guy who had the dump was back.
I mean, we didn't talk about Badger and Skinny.
Oh
Pete.
yeah, they're good. I mean, they're really good friends. Skinny Pete, especially.
I think it is possible for them to get a spin-off. By the way, it is entirely possible with what happened. They
just play a bunch of video games together.
You could do
something.
They do a
let's play.
What they left off at.
Oh my god. Let's play. Hey guys, Badger and Skinny Pete. Let's do a let's play of Minecraft. It's never been done before.
That's what Hot Diggity Demon just did.
It'd be in like 360p.
Oh my god.
He uploaded a 17-minute Minecraft Let's Play.
Oh my god.
I can't wait to watch it.
Me too.
Then what else is there? I feel like there's too. Like I'm just not remembering. Like a really minor one. There was a fucking Better Call Saul character in there, and it was so minor, and I only noticed it because
who was it?
Afterwards. The one guy who drops the girls off at like the one Weldon place.
I didn't even.
Yeah, so they got pour ketchup all over their feet. I remember
was
that.
The one. There was an episode of Better Call Saul where Mike steals a gun from someone. Well, they have 3 men for the job. Like the guy who Mike starts working for very early on in the show, who's like selling drugs to Nacho. the one who got his baseball card stolen. He buys the Hummer.
I think I remember that. How do you remember that was the same actor?
Well, it's not him. It's there was this really big buff guy who got into a fight with well, no, he didn't even get into a fight. He just got freaked out by Mike and then ran off, and he was in that. The only reason I know that is because of an article. I didn't notice it when watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a lawyer from Better Call Saul also appeared in the news, with the police at the beginning. But very minor characters. I think there was also a police officer in Better Call Saul that appeared in the movie.
This is such a spoiler alert. Now we know that they lived.
Now I know that police
big
officers
thing.
are in Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Jeez.
I'm suing Vince Gilligan, man. Can't handle it.
I was gonna mention way earlier. I forget what it was. I exactly was gonna lead to. It's something like Bill Burr's new stand-up comedy act.
Oh, Paper Tiger, that was so good.
Wouldn't it have been great to see Bill Burr make a cameo?
Oh yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, he apparently was supposed to either get a cameo in El Camino or the new season of Better Call Saul, but he had to cancel it. I heard him talk about it. I think it was on the H3 podcast. He mentioned he had to cancel his appearance because he's just doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him in Better Call Saul.
He's going to be in fucking Star Wars now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I don't
Star
exactly
Wars
know
show.
what he's good at. Oh, in a...
Oh, the Mandalorian? He's going to be in
The
there?
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Ooh. Now I have an actual reason to watch that.
I need enough stuff to be on Disney Plus. I got the Marvel stuff. I gotta wait for it so then it's worth it to pay for Disney Plus now. You know.
Honestly.
Right now it's just The Mandalorian, which I hear is good from early reviews and stuff. It's positive.
What I was going to say about the Bill Burr stand-up, though, I'm just thinking about this because you're talking about spoilers with the characters dying. There was something else that was said earlier that made me think of it. He's going on about actors and movies and how politically correct people are about that, saying you can't play this character if you can't play. They got mad at Bryan Cranston for playing a character in a wheelchair even though he's not really in a wheelchair.
Oh,
and he started just going off on about different things, and this person died in this character died in this movie, but I saw the actor in a movie this year, just
I recommend listening to the Monday morning podcasts by Bill Burr. They're really good.
I listen to them occasionally, not often. Sometimes when I listen to them, they're really depressing.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's the joy where you're just expecting something high professional, by two or three people, but it's just him alone. He's just So my day was okay.
I like it when it's depressing. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, it is.
There was one where he was just talking about how he saw this commercial about a daughter growing up or something happening away from his daughter.
Wait, can you say that again? You cut out.
I was saying there's this one where he was doing the podcast where he was just talking about this commercial about in the commercial some father's daughter is growing up in one thing, and he's watching this as his own daughter is growing up, and he's out of state doing a stand-up act, and he's just saying how depressed he started to feel throughout that whole day. It just goes into great detail about it for a really long period of time.
Jesus.
Good stuff. I like Bill Burr. I like his show F is for Family too.
Oh heck yeah, that show is really weird. I remember, I think season 3. What was it? The redheaded son. He just imagined his parents as planes and then fucking each other, and then the wheels.
I don't remember that.
Okay, there was a segment where they were fucking each other, and then the dad's balls were actually the wheels, going back and forth against the other plane.
Jeez. I don't remember that at all, actually.
Oh my god, I remember that so much.
I remember, what I remember about the new season of F is for Family the most is Chet. Just because he was the most horrifying fucking person, and I've met people like him. Who get really sour and worked up over the smallest thing.
Yeah.
But they're subtle about it. So...
Yeah, he was a loser.
It was fucked up. It was really fucked up. It felt that kind of person felt way too real for me. Anyway, let's do the random question generator, our closing segment of each episode now.
Right.
Where I pull up this random question generator and it gives us a question, and often the question is really bad, but we answer it no matter what. All right. What looks delicious but tastes terrible?
Spreading my asshole and pouring ketchup all over it.
What looks delicious but tastes terrible? You know
Here's
those
the
like
thing, I'm a very picky eater, so I don't really know how to answer this.
I'm not a picky eater at all. You guys know though. I feel like there's a better example. But you know those macaron cookies? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Where it's like just a very colorful cookie. It kind of looks like an Oreo. They look very good, and they never taste as good as they look.
Does it have like a gooey thing in the middle?
Yeah,
Like a heart or something?
I don't know if it's a heart.
I can look that up real quick.
Let me look it up. I can look it up. I'll show you guys a picture.
All right. I guess I'm not gonna look it up then.
I mean, like, as a kid, like, and I'm sure even if I tried it now, like, carrots, like, it looks like something that, like, texture-wise I can easily eat, but, like, the taste I just can't handle. Like, I want to barf.
It's these things, very colorful, very appealing look.
Oh, I've
never as good as they look.
Do they have a taste? What does it taste like?
never tried them before.
I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't think they're not like repulsive, but it's like so underwhelming.
They look sugary.
They look tasty to me, but
they're nice and colorful.
Yeah. Anything colorful looks tasty. Huh? Anyway, I'm trying to think of a better example. Like, I don't know if I can. Because I know I've definitely, this is the kind of thing I'll think of something later, something that looks delicious but tastes like shit. I know that there's examples. Sometimes it's just like fucking get a sub, and the sub looks really tasty, but the cheese makes it terrible because sometimes people fuck cheese up.
Oh yeah, that does suck a lot.
Provolone is like the guiltiest. Like I swear, like provolone or Swiss are the most commonly fucked up cheeses. Whenever I get like a sub from someplace.
Oh, that sucks. Provolone's really good. At least I like it.
Provolone's really good, but people like sometimes it tastes really sour when I get it from certain places. Like,
my God.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. Like,
They must like just keep it out for too long, or like the temperature's just off or whatever.
You know what I didn't like? Jell-O.
What?
I tried Jell-O as a kid. I did not like it at all.
Yeah, Jell-O's it's just kind of a boring food in my opinion.
Oh, and yogurt. I didn't like yogurt.
I like yogurt.
I
like mixing some granola and yogurt.
For the longest time as a kid, I'd only have like the Trix yogurt, and that's honestly like delicious for me. I've not had that in years. The yogurt that I like doing now, I forget. I think it's like Trintelix or something. No,
yeah.
Actually,
I'll normally just do like plain like vanilla yogurt or strawberry yogurt and mix some granola in it.
I think I just fucked that up. I think Trintelix is actually some sort of antidepressant. Hold on. Oh my God! Wait a second.
Oh.
Wait, what the fuck did I just say? Oh my God! What the hell? What is Trintelix? Oh my God!
What is it?
Trintelix is hold on. Trintelix is a prescription medicine that affects chemicals in the brain that may be unbalanced. Oh my God! It's an antidepressant. What's the fucking yogurt that I like? Yogurt with Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Oh, what the hell was it? Activia. Oh my God. Yeah, Activia. I like the peach Activia, not fucking Alex. Oh my God.
You know, it's like a 50-50 food item. Like it always looks pretty good, but sometimes it's shitty and sometimes it's great. Apples. Because you never know if you're going to get like a nice, delicious, crispy apple or you're going to get like a mushy piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I can only eat apples like if I slice it up or just have peanut butter with it.
Yeah, it's a smart way to do it because you can tell.
That and bananas.
I haven't tried apples since I was very, very young.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of foods. I just don't eat a lot of different kinds.
I remember just eating it a lot with peanut butter when I just like started hardcore working out earlier this year. I lost pounds in total, by the way, but
hey. Nice, congrats.
Thanks, man.
I think you cut out when you said how many pounds, but I'm proud of you still.
I said 70.
Okay. If it was 2, I still would have been proud of you.
Aw.
Yeah. I have to say that because you're here.
I get
There's
you.
my insult to the guest per episode thing.
I think
tripped off.
Twinkies are kind of lame.
I have not had a Twinkie in years.
I had one like not too long ago. When I was a kid, I fucking hated snowballs, but I loved Twinkies. And not too long ago, I got like one of each again, and I loved the snowball, and I hated the Twinkie. The Twinkie's just so boring. It's such a boring food.
Yeah, I get you.
The Zombieland movie would say differently.
I know it would. I want to see the sequel to that. I don't
I'm
think
not
it's
really
gonna
interested in the sequel.
I don't think it's going to be
I don't think
good,
it's necessary.
but I want it to be good.
Didn't that already come out?
It did,
Yeah. I don't know.
but it just came out. so
I'd see
it's-
Joker for a second time rather than seeing it. I don't know.
I really
I'm probably going to see The Lighthouse next.
Oh, is that out yet?
I think it might be.
I haven't checked the theater in a while. I was sick, so I couldn't go to the theater recently.
It's nothing really interesting for me at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
next month in December, I think a lot's coming out, both on Netflix and
Well, I've been very
theaters,
satisfied. I've been very satisfied with shit that came out this year.
By the
Like I don't
way,
know.
not that it might be terrible or it might be good, but the end of the fucking world season 2 is coming out next month.
Yeah,
Early
I
next
don't.
month.
I think it's gonna suck. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see.
I've been very happy with like 2019 as just a year for like TV movies and all that. Like fucking Invader Zim came back for a film. So did Breaking Bad. I
Rocco.
really like.
I think
What?
Netflix has
Rocco's
stepped
Modern
up its
Life.
game this year.
I like the Rocco's Modern Life special. I really loved Endgame.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah,
I wasn't that in. I actually have to be honest. I was not Far From Home. I watched it
I
recently.
loved Far From Home.
I'm glad
It's
that
up there for
he's
me.
back in the MCU though.
Yeah.
I was so sure that it was gonna happen in that time frame. Like the
Mhm.
longer it went on, I'm like, okay, this is going on a little too long. But you know, he came back at around the time I thought he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like of course, like the companies, like the word gets out, everyone knows about it, and they're freaking out. They're gonna try to get to do something quick, and that's what happened. It's kind of predictable, but I'm
It
glad
turned
it
out that
happened.
Todd Holland himself actually had to convince
I don't believe
both
that.
Disney and Sony
He
to
did
do it.
not. He did not go like, "Hey guys, we gotta be friends again." They were like, "Okay, Tom Holland, because this actor said so." Sure.
Well, at least
No.
that's what they.
No, he did not say that. He did not.
All right, Tom
He did
Holland.
not fix everything. No,
Tom
I
Holland.
refuse to accept that.
Nah, you know who actually fixed
No
up the-
company listens to the actor and is like, "Oh, okay, I guess."
You guys ever seen like the old like classic Fantastic Four shows? I think it was like from the 60s or
No.
something. Okay, well there's The Thing.
Yeah, I know the thing.
Thing is like the most random character in that show, where like he can karate chop a fucking playground out of existence and just fucking lift up shit and just says
Does
nothing
he have
to
super
it.
strength? I thought he was just
Oh, yeah, he has super-
invulnerable and like slightly super strengthy, like, but
Well, I'm
not
not
like
sure
that,
about that.
to that degree.
I'm not sure about that, but theme song in that is like where he could just easily karate chop things in and out of existence for
Wow.
no fucking reason, and he can just fucking swim really fucking fast, and he's
Every
just
time
like
he
arf,
swipes,
arf.
he just says his clobbering time like every single time. Gets.
I don't even
very
think he
annoying for
said.
the kids.
I don't even think he even says that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is there anything else?
Uh,
Come on. There we
We
go.
said last episode we'd continue the story arc of our little improv. We could end this with an improv.
all right.
We're over time, but okay.
I don't know
Set
if we
up a
want to
scene.
like. Oh, do we want to like continue the last one or like this continuing
No,
story arc?
the thrill of it. The thrill of improv is being open to new.
I'm just saying the
scenarios.
last episode. I'm saying that the last episode's a lie now because we said the saga would continue. But okay,
Was there?
That's fine.
No, I didn't say that. You probably just said.
I did say it, but it's still a lie.
You're the only one who said.
But you didn't edit it out, so it's still a lie.
Hmm.
All right, let's set up, Zach. You start it, then Stuart, you'll add to it, then I'll go last.
All right, we're at an Asian restaurant.
Us three.
What's the problem at the restaurant?
A goblin just came in and he fucking tore off an old man's head.
All right, and go.
Michael decided he wanted to be one with the goblin people, so he also ripped off an old person's head, and now he's with the goblin fully nude.
Hey guys, you think you can help me out to learn how to use these chopsticks while everything else happens behind me?
I then start pouring maple syrup all over Zach's feet as the goblin.
Stuart, what are you doing? This isn't how you pour syrup.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn, Zachary.
Zach with the bug.
Michael and the goblin mate and immediately form 10 additional goblins.
That quickly.
Yeah, very quick process. Goblins don't live very long.
Then I repeat the line that I said earlier for my turn.
All the goblins start pouring ketchup all over their feet.
Michael
Stuart was one of them.
Michael now gets a little grossed out and weirded out by them pouring shit all over their feet. Becomes uncomfortable, puts his clothes back on, and decides not to be a goblin anymore.
I stand on one of the goblins' feet like a daughter with their father at a wedding. You know, the little dance when they're like that. So I do that with one of the goblins, and my feet get all sticky. But I'm enjoying it.
The main goblin lifts up his hand, rips off his mask. It's him, Dan Schneider.
Michael becomes very disgusted with his previous actions and murders his son.
You didn't establish that you had a son, but...
Yeah, I did. I said we made it and made 10 additional goblins.
Gotcha.
So I murdered my son.
It's not like this improv's going everywhere or anything. Of course I remember it.
All right, go ahead, Zach.
So I'm witnessing the murder happen while dancing with my newlywed goblin, which, by the way, we got married. And I whisper in his ear, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to go back to my place, Schmiegelbop?" That's his name, by the way, Schmiegelbop.
Great sword.
Dan Schneider shoves a car up his asshole.
Michael.
Car?
Yes.
Wow.
Michael kills his additional children, and then just kind of stares at Dan Schneider, wondering if the car will do it, and he won't have to even act. He also erases the security cameras to erase all evidence that this is something that he was any part of.
Before leaving, I set off a grenade in the building. It's about to detonate.
Everyone dead?
I said it's
Or
about
sword.
to. You can still do
sword.
something. There's time.
I start licking.
But there's time.
I start licking the maple syrup off the floor.
That's gonna stop the grenade.
The bomb goes off. Stuart didn't act.
And to think that you murdering your children was for naught because they would have already been dead in the end anyway.
Michael's ghost exits the restaurant and goes into a local gym. There are now 2 ghost treadmills. The saga
You're now in a new environment.
The 2 start plotting.
It starts raining feet.
Meanwhile, I'm already at the goblin's apartment, and we're making sweet love.
Dan Snyder.
Dan Snyder. Was that your turn? You just said his name?
No, Dan Snyder's the goblin.
Oh. Good.
All right.
So right before he left, he had to lick some maple syrup off the floor?
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's all coming together now.
It is. Alright, Michael, your turn.
Where are we right now? Okay, the restaurant's blown
It doesn't matter. You're at the gym, I think.
Well, the ghost treadmills are, but we're saving that.
Oh, right, the ghost treadmill.
That's part of it. That's the overarching story. That's done for now. I'm going to focus on the other characters. So we got Dan. All right, so everyone's dead except for Zach, his goblin wife, and Dan Schneider, right?
Yeah.
The wife is Dan Schneider. Keep that in mind.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it's just those 2 then. All right. Well, Doug Walker comes into their room and starts screaming while shooting a pistol off aimlessly.
Just randomly, so he's not really hitting him.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's not hitting them yet, at least. But one of those bullets could hit them if they don't do something soon.
Alright, I use Dan Schneider as a meat shield.
Linkara continues to not fucking upload.
Just starting off, Linkara.
Say it again, Stuart.
Linkara continues to not fucking upload the new episode of Power Rangers Retrospective.
Meanwhile.
I guess Doug Walker kills Dan Schneider. Zach's still alive. He has a chance to live.
I offer him 2 pennies.
Dan Schneider's dead body fucking defecates all over the floor.
Doug Walker shoots Zachary.
I defecate all over the floor, and Doug Walker is like, whose shit is who?
Linkara kills himself.
Meanwhile, Doug Walker...
In a completely different location.
Linkara defecates all over the floor. Doug Walker walks off with a new perspective on life. Credits roll. Happy
Friends
together.
theme song in the credits.
Happy together by the Turtles.
It's the fucking nostalgia critic ending.
It's nostalgia critic intro, yeah. The credits roll.
Tamra Chambers becomes the new nostalgia critic.
Well, no, nostalgia critic's alive.
Well, he retires after this. I mean, it's a big adventure he just went on.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, yeah, a new perspective on life. He's walking down the road.
This was his finale.
Nostalgia critic theme song plays.
He gets his fucking toe stuck in a faucet.
Gets a splinter, he dies.
He dies of
Falls over.
starvation.
His feet are full of
Ow.
mashed potatoes.
His feet are mashed potatoes. How about that? Oh no, my feet are mashed potatoes. What am I going to tell my parents now? Do my parents know? Are their feet also mashed potatoes? Are we half human, half mashed potatoes? What is my family tree? Goes to Ancestry.com. Oh my god, I'm half mashed potato.
Rob Walker and Mike McCod come in with the camera and start to film because it's a great opportunity.
They just start screaming, "Build that wall!"
They then pour maple syrup all over Doug Walker's mashed potato feet.
These are all clips that are happening while the credits are rolling, by the way.
Yeah.
Post-credit scenes. Alright, well that was a good episode.
Yeah,
This is
I like
amazing.
That.
How do you want to officially end it after that shenanigans?
Brian
Oh,
Griffin
we
Brian
have to do a movie recommendation.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we?
Yeah,
Okay. Let me see what
I got mine.
Okay, this was taken off of Netflix, I think, and it might have gone back on, I think. Anyway, it's on now, so hopefully it doesn't get taken off before the month is over. But The Bucket List
Okay,
with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman.
sounds good. My
Yes.
recommendation is actually a shared recommendation with me, Chris, and Olivia. Chris and Olivia aren't going to be given but if they can make it, there's no 100% guarantee because they're busy. But if they can make it, they're going to join the discussion next episode.
Okay.
And the recommendation from all three of us is a really, really cringy web series titled Too Kawaii for Comfort. And it is
What's wrong with you?
it is a show about. It's
Too
like
Kawaii for Comfort?
yeah, it is a really cringy show, but it's like intentionally cringy, and it's like kind of like Office.
Web
It's like cringy
series?
Office.
Web series or a web
It's a-
movie?
It's a web series. It's like I the only like disclaimer I have about it is the last episode isn't out, but there's no telling if the last episode's even going to happen. You still get enough of what's out though.
How many episodes?
I think it's like 6, maybe 5,
Interesting.
5 to 6 episodes.
and it's a really hard watch, but I really enjoyed it by the end. And I think it's about conventions. Like it's a bunch of friends going to a convention, like all like everything that could go wrong goes wrong in it, and it's just I think that you will have like some sort of connection with it,
Okay.
considering your history at cons. And it's something else. There's definitely a lot to talk about. So
Okay.
yeah, hopefully Chris and Olivia will join us because they recommended it to me. I started watching it and hated them, but by the end of it, I was actually quite a fan of it. So yeah.
All right.
So my recommendation is actually Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties.
I'm just gonna end this episode. Jesus Christ.